Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Spurs 4, West Hammered United 1. It's time for Ange management. Good morning, everybody, and what a day it is. First of all, just to make sure, Jonny will be joining me, but I could not hear Jonny, so we're testing this out. Can you guys hear me? So can someone in the comments just write, yes, I can hear you, or no, you can't. Jonny will be joining me very, very shortly. So if someone can just say, yes, you can hear me. Yep, thank you very much, Dan. Cheers, buddy. So Jonny will be joining me very shortly. He's just going to restart all of his stuff. But I'm back after a week off from feeling unwell. We are back. Ange management is back. The last one we did was Brighton, and that was a horrific one to do. Well, today is the total and exact opposite. So first of all, whilst we wait for Jonny, let's just say hello to everyone. So big up to channel member Sean. I hope you are good, brother. Adam, big up to you. Yep, they got hammered yesterday, and the filth losing. Saturdays like this don't come along very often. You have to enjoy it when you do. Here comes Jonny. Please, Jonny. Jonny, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There you go. There you go. See, the old switch it on and switch it off again has worked here. Jonny, how are you, brother?
I'm all right. Listen, after Brighton, that's a perfect fillet. The yin with the yang, the positive to wipe away the negative. Perfect.
Right. Damn right. And it's going to be a lot of fun, this show. And first of all, before I carry on saying the hellos, which son of it? Is it Brandon's birthday today? Or
Brandon's birthday, yeah. So it's my son Brandon's birthday today. So happy birthday, Brandon. I'll be rushing off here on the endless things we've got planned. So,
well, enjoy, mate, and happy birthday to him. But let's just carry on. Tweaky is in
and
the
what
chat.
a great weekend for him. We went to the game together, 4-1, and then Arsenal losing. What a weekend.
Wonderful, mate. Saturdays like this don't come on very often. No. Lee Harvey, channel member, big up to you. Andrew Gregory, channel member, big up to you. Dan, us gays support service, big up to you. Hope you're good and well. JB, big up to you. Who else? Colin Crossamano is in the building. Tom 81, my roomie, is here. MJ Marquez, how are you, sir? All good and well. Hope you are well too. Another channel member, the wonderful Fran. 8 months, sorry, from KPV. Big up, Brian. Hope you're well. Spurs won yesterday. The Phil finally lost the game in 2024. What a lovely day. They don't get much better, buddy. David Marshall, big up to you, sir, channel member. I hope you're good and well. And who else have we not said hello to? Ramvi, good day, me old cobbers from down under. Yep, the up 2-2 on the Ange train today is going to be a good day. And Colin, I'm guessing, look at my Welsh. I'm learning Welsh. I'm guessing that is happy birthday, Brandon, in Welsh. But Jonny, let's just go through this again so people do understand this. Now, the way this show is structured is we will deal with the negatives first, if there are any. We will deal with the positives, which there are many, 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 many. Special mentions for players that deserve it. And finally, the big man, my manager, the man himself, Ange Postecoglou. Jonny, let's get this show on the road. Negatives, if you found any.
One thing quickly. I just want to get one thing quickly out of the way. So in the stadium, during the game in the first half, I thought the biggest problem was James Maddison. And he was losing the ball. They were running past him. He couldn't keep up with play. And at half time, right, when I saw it came on, I said, oh, thank God, he's injured, right? I didn't know. And most of the people around me thought he was injured, just why he was taking it off. So when I came out and I did my video, I didn't congratulate Ange on the tactical change, because many of us believed that it was an injury. So for those who have trolled me today and said I didn't give Ange credit, it was because we really didn't know. We thought it was an injury to James Maddison, one which I was thankful for when he came on. We've still got to clear up some of our defensive frailties. Vicario made a fantastic save from Kudos early on, and
remember doing the negatives here. Negatives.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that we were cut open very easily.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we were cut open very easily, and the goal. There was a couple of incidences and got through us far too easy. Hopefully, this will come in time, and we will improve. I would like to see him mix it up, though, Ange. I feel like, in all honesty, would it really have been terrible had we started Dragusin and given Romero a rest after a long journey? So he gets game time, because he's not going to get game time on Thursday because he's banned, and he probably won't get game time next week, in our next game. So I just feel like sometimes we expect a lot, Brian, when these players come in, having not got any minutes, and suddenly they're thrust in, and then he makes a mistake like he did against Carrier Bag. So that would probably be my only negative. I would say that we really need to try and. There's still some frailties there in defence.
Yep. I mean, put it this way, I think there's 2 negatives. 3 with James Maddison, but we'll deal with that when we get to special mentions. And I am going to agree. The main negative was, where is it? Where's Tom? Where's my roomie put it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. That's the main negative. We gave away a poor goal.
Very poor.
Very poor. The defence, by just the build-up, we were very, very, and they highlighted it on Match of the Day, and the tactical amazing change that Ange did make. There's one more negative for me, and it's really pissed me off. And it's nothing, it's not just, it happened to a Spurs player yesterday, but it's something that goes on in the game, and I cannot stand it. The way Mickey van der Ven, when someone goes like that, and you look at the ref and go, oh, and fall to the floor. I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I hate it when people dive. If it's Spurs players, I'll call it out. If it's away opposing teams or different games Spurs aren't playing, I'll call it out. Mickey van der Ven, the way he went down was like he'd been punched by Mike Tyson, not given a little tap by Kudos. So I hate that in football. I hate that in football. But apart from the goal, that is the only negative for me. That is the only negative.
Can I just say, again, we had a referee like Michael Oliver last year with the Arsenal when Rice kicked Davis between the legs, right in front of him, and he didn't give, he didn't give the penalty. How did he end up missing not 1, not 2, but 3 Kudos slaps, right? And give Mickey van der Ven a yellow card, the same punishment as Kudos. I mean, like, the refereeing is such a low ebb. It really, really is. And I don't think it's improving anytime soon. And I just worry that that's going to end up costing us later on in the season, because it was easy to see it was a red card for me straight away.
But do you know what I will say with that, Johnny? You look at it, at least VAR was on our side. And when I say on our side, I don't mean woohoo, it went for us. If you look at that Southampton-Leicester game, how Southampton haven't gotten a penalty for exactly the same thing Jamie Vardy did, there's a huge difference. There's VAR saw it, VAR called it. That's what VAR's there for.
Atrocious, Brian. Atrocious.
I mean, but thankfully, it was on our side. The right thing was done. Mickey's picked up a yellow, but you know what? Mickey deserves a yellow for just falling down like a fucking sack of potatoes. Just adding to
that, right? And they were not going to send off Saliba yesterday in that game. And if you saw, I saw it on his phone in the stands. What's his name? The referee, forgotten his name now. And he's on his phone, And
Howard
he's
Webb.
obviously texting Howard Webb. He's obviously texting them. Like, he's off. He's off. He's the last man. And then he gets on his phone. It's obvious that, but it's obvious that he's got involved. Anyway, let's move on to the positives.
We will do, but Joe B, I will say, and we'll come on to this later. I was on a stream last night, or not last night, yesterday afternoon for me, with on Dan Hotspur Hood's channel, and Ian Lubin actually said what I think is actually a very good point. I think Mikey Moore did not come on for that amount of time because I think he's a guarantee to be starting on Thursday.
Well,
and if it was Mikey Moore to come on for however long Werner did and give Sonny his rest, which was great to see, I think Mikey Moore starts every single Europa League game, and that's why he didn't come on. Yes, we don't want to see Werner. If Odebear was there, I think it would have been Odebear. But if it was see Mikey Moore for a few minutes there, or having no problem 100% fit, risk it. Listen, he could have come on and picked up an injury. He probably wouldn't have. But I think Mikey Moore was not brought on because he does start on Thursday. But yes, let's deal with this because there's so much to discuss. I listen. You go first, Johnny. You go first.
We pressed for 90 minutes. For me, that's the big takeaway from this. There wasn't a drop off, and we made the subs. For me, I was really getting frustrated with Maddison in that first half. I obviously didn't know he was injured. I thought he was injured, and that was the only reason he came off. But I thought it was a blessing because as soon as we put Papa into that midfield, he was man of the match for Senegal on international break. So he's really on fire. And I know he got a bit of criticism, surprisingly, at the start of the season. But I think he scored 2 and created 1. And that midfield, when he came in there with Bissouma, because those two have an understanding, don't they, Brian? There's like a father-son sort of thing. Bissouma, the older statesman, and with Papa, sort of learning from him. I thought that they really did change the whole spectrum of the game because West Ham do have a very strong midfield. Yeah, but they couldn't cope with us.
Yeah, listen, I've got to say, I think what we've got to talk about is obviously we know how we performed in the second half against Brighton. Yeah. I'll come on to what Ange did when we get to Ange because I am going to go Ange Postecoglou nuts when we get to the Ange Postecoglou section. But that was we fell apart in a short space at Brighton. My God, they couldn't handle us. They couldn't handle us. And do you know what? I'm going to get this out now. I don't care who's listening to this or where this goes. All week we've been saying, "Oh, we've got to beat West Ham. They are a big rival. They are a massive team, like in not massive teams in the size room, but what this fixture represents for fans and everything." We win this game, and then I'm hearing people I'm seeing on social media, yeah, but it's a shit West Ham team. And I'm like, whoa. Hold on a minute. Everyone has been going that we haven't won, or Ange hasn't won a Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham game. We do it. It's a shit West Ham. They're not quality. I'm like, whoa. If you go to any Spurs fan, and there's 120 people in here now, well, I have to say 120 Spurs fans in here, if I said to you, you will not lose in both fixtures to 3 teams, which teams are you choosing? They will choose Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham. It was a great performance. It was a great to get his first victory against one of our so-called or one of our biggest rivals in London and fiercest, the fan rivalry. The performance where it was brilliant first half, poor second half against Brighton, completely switched, although we were better in the first half.
Yeah.
Then obviously
in the second half.
Overall, I was delighted with the performance. You can only beat what's in front of you. It's 3 points. A rival. Listen, I was just delighted with everything yesterday, Johnny.
Listen, I think both points are correct, Brian. I think 100% we'll take the victory. because they're rivals of us. You know, we hammered the Irons. Great stuff. You know, it was a pleasure. Ange's first win in 8 games in these games, but they were a poor team. I mean, they were a poor team, but you've got to be happy. You can only beat what's in front of you. They beat Ipswich and Crystal Palace, so they have been poor, and they were very poor in that second half. But you know, that should not distract from the fact that Spurs played very well in that second half, and mainly due to the change that took place at half time. So you know, you got to take what it was. You know, look at Bournemouth yesterday. You know, were they fantastic? They were okay, you know, but they had the luck in that game with Solanke getting sent off to change it. You got to take it. No one is interested in where they were in the league, how lucky you were. I thought it was retribution and payback for last year when we absolutely smashed them to bits and lost 2-1 to 2 of the flukiest goals you'll ever see. So I'm happy, and everyone should be happy, and we move on to the next game.
We do. And as we move on to special mentions, because there are a few, there's one we are going to talk James Maddison.
We talk about the fans, Brian.
Mate, I can talk about the fans in Scotland Yard. You can talk about the fans, 62,000
I've
of
got
them.
to tell you, the atmosphere when the second goal went in definitely lifted the whole place. There was a groan when the first one went in, obviously. It was almost silenced. Because, you know, he'd made a save before and we thought, oh, here we go again. But Kulu's goal, followed by the second from Bissouma, then the whole atmosphere changed. And I think it's really important that this fan base realises that we need to try and support this team massively at home. And it hasn't been happening because in those moments between the second goal and the fourth goal, the atmosphere was fantastic, and I think the players fed off of it. They were always inspired to it, and it almost demoralised West Ham. And let's be honest, it could have been 6-7, you know, easy.
Yep. And I will say I've been keeping this super chat that we've received from one of my nearest and dearest, and we're going to do it with special mentions straight away. Let me just bring up Phil's.
Hi, Phil.
The positives today have been brought for you by the Kulu Defence League. Now, Johnny, before I let you go on about Kulu, and I'm going to let you go first, but he is going first. Regards, I'm pulling. I'm deciding. I'm just going to read a stat. I'm just going to read a stat that came out yesterday by Data MB.
Yeah.
This is Dejan Kulusevski. Someone that I hated seeing on the right wing, was prepared to let go if we got good enough money to put towards Eze, because I thought on the wing he's just being not utilised. Him and Ange, but we'll start with him. Dejan Kulusevski versus Premier League midfielders. Most key passes is also first in Europe. Most progressive runs is also first in Europe. Most accelerations is also first in Europe. Most deep completions, first in Europe as well. Most dribbles per 90. Most offensive duels won per 90. What a change. What a standout performance from Mr. Kulusevski.
He was unbelievable. Listen, look, at the end of the day, I never thought, I was begging Ange when he signed to pull Kulu inside. He stated many times his best position is inside, and every time he got the opportunity, he fluffed his lines. I don't know what happened in the summer, but since he's been given that number 8 role, he's just thrived. You know, while Brennan Johnson and Mickey van der Ven get the main plaudits and the headlines, for me, our standout player so far this season has really been Kulu. His strength, his upper body strength, and if you put him and James Maddison side by side, I was sat there yesterday watching the two of them, and they're incomparable. They're incomparable. He doesn't have the engine, Maddison. He doesn't have the strength, and somehow I don't think he's even got the vision, because Kulu is bearing in mind, he's only 24 years of age. I think Maddison's what, 27?
28, I believe, or around.
28.
Let's just say around that.
Yeah, okay, so he's 24 years of age. He's only going to get better. He's got probably another couple of years of improvement. He was immense. I said in the first half, I posted what's his name, Pep Guardiola's comment, Kulusevski.
Oh, what a player!
What a player, right? What a player. And he's living up to that billing. And what an exciting prospect we have. And I'm quite honestly, I'd be happy if James Maddison was dropped. There's a reason why he's not being picked for England. And, Pape Sarr, Bissouma, Bentancur, let him fight his way back. No one should have a God-given right to get a place in that team. And when you put them up side by side, one is falling over every time, looking for things, moaning, whining.
I think we can all say, regardless of people like Phil who have supported him and stood by him the whole time, and like I've done with Johnson. Obviously, we're talking way different players and what their output is at the moment, but we all have our players where we stick behind and we have faith and we have trust in. The Dejan Kulusevski we signed under Conte was outstanding. Then this kind of gap in between, it was hot and cold, and on the right, it was so predictable. And I used to call him Dejan Predictability. I've now put that in the bin. This guy he's a machine. He's a machine. Now, Lee Harvey, who is the one that called someone we'll talk about later, Pape, the lawnmower, because he covers every blade of grass. Listen, this guy, Dan the Hotspur Hood, Danny, has been saying for ages, and I mean ages, he's the one that's really been saying, because he watches a lot of Italian football, he needs to play in the centre. He needs to play in the centre. And I couldn't see it, or I couldn't see this version of Kulu. By a country mile, the best player on the pitch yesterday. By a country mile, our best player this season, without doubt. Since pre-season, he has been outstanding. Now, obviously, he's had a kid. He's been named captain of Sweden, which has obviously got to be the biggest honour you can get at any age, and got to give you the confidence. Ange has done this. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all knew, we've all been saying Kulusevski's going to be better there. Ange has now done it. Like you said, he's making James Maddison look inferior. He was absolutely.
Has he opened an IKEA store, though? That's what I want to know.
Mate, listen, he can do what he wants. He has been absolutely head and shoulders there. I just can't. I mean, everyone is talking about him. I watched Match of the Day yesterday, and Match of the Day spoke yesterday about, we'll get on to Sarr and Maddison near the end of this bit, because I am going to bring up, as my first special mention, the other midfielder that started that match. Big up, Mark. I hope you're good, buddy. I am going to say he's Bissouma, another person that I've been exceedingly critical of, and rightfully so, at certain times, because we know what he's capable of. We know what he's capable of. I said on We Are Tottenham TV yesterday, and some people took it the wrong way. I was like, I'm old-fashioned. I'm old school. If you've lost the shirt and someone takes it, Bissouma now owns that number 6 shirt. Yes, they're both good players. Yes, the performance yesterday, not only has he scored, he got his goal, some of his defensive work was magnificent. And he put in a completely, in my opinion, not complete, but a very, very good performance. And after Bentancur, amongst others, dropping tools or downing tools against Brighton, Bissouma, I will say, since Balloon Gate, when he has come back in after that one-game ban, and I was one that I don't want to see him in a Spurs shirt, or not, I wanted it to be more severely punished. He did very, very well yesterday, and I was delighted for him. He did what we know he can do yesterday, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, after Balloon Gate, he came in on a high, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think, look, he had a good game. But you have to be consistent. We're looking for consistency, Brian. Hopefully this is a start of a consistent period. You can't have one on, one off. You can't be switching off during the games, which is what he's been guilty of. and making stupid, reckless tackles. But based on yesterday's game, he had a really, really good game yesterday, and that's what you can judge it on, really. Scored a goal, defensively solid. Again, I thought he looked much better when Pape Sarr came on, personally. But no, he had a good game, and hopefully it's the start of a good run for him. My player I'm going to mention, funny enough, is Brennan Johnson. And I don't think he had a particularly great game up front. He missed a couple of really good chances, a header and another chance. But defensively, tracking back, he was absolutely superb. I remember going to the Wolves game away last season. Yeah, and he was running by me. I was on my side, and he had his hands on his haunches. He couldn't run. He was out of breath, and I'm thinking, "Oh my God, what's going on? You're 22 years of age, right? You should have had bundles of energy, bundles of air left." This was after about 65 minutes. He really worked his socks off yesterday. And whilst he didn't get the goal, what will be the main focus, I think something like 700,000 people transferred him in their fantasy football, and he didn't score. But for me, he was standout in his defensive duties. And it probably won't get that notice because obviously so much else was going on. We scored 4 goals and he didn't. So that will get the headline. So for me, that was the person I'm going to mention yesterday.
Do you know what, Jonny? I am delighted to hear you mention that because yesterday you obviously get to see a lot more than I do because you're watching it live and you get to see where the cameras don't send.
I watch it all round,
Now, obviously, people know my love for Brennan Johnson and my support of Brennan Johnson. So much so that I don't know if I told people, a very good friend of mine who's normally in the chat, Matt Johnson, who I watch every game with at the Yard, ordered a few of us Spurs shirts from DH Gate at the Man U game. And he was asking me who was I going to get on the back of the shirt. And I said, it's got to be Van der Ven or Porro. And then as that happened, Solanke headed that ball to Brennan Johnson, where he set up Kulusevski. And on the run, we said, if Brennan Johnson gets the assist, I'm getting Johnson on the back of my shirt. And look what arrived yesterday. There you go. There's my Brennan shirt, the DH Gate.
How good are DH Gate, honestly?
Oh, mate, listen, DH Gate, I've got a friend that does it as well, but a very good friend of mine, Rachel, who does some fantastic shirts. But yeah, so listen, Brennan Johnson looked a threat at times, but he was quiet by his standards that he set right now. But his I think his defensive against Man U, it really has improved. And you know what? He didn't score yesterday. That illustrious or that run has gone. Don't worry. The end of one, he just starts chapter 2 on Thursday against Alkmaar, where he gets back on the score sheet. And then on Sunday against Palace, he'll get another one in the Premier League.
Even squared up to Kudos.
Mate, he's mate.
He squared up to Kudos. I mean, hang on a minute, what's going on?
When Romero came in to calm it down, you're like, okay. And also, as Kudos got sent off, you could see him say something. He said, listen, I love Brennan Johnson. He's growing into the Spurs shirt. He is now showing what he's capable of. And like you said, a lot of people said his work and his responsibilities and his energy levels were low. Well, it just goes to show what training can do and confidence can do. I am going to make this. I want to mention the other front. We'll go through the front line because I think they're all superb for reasons, for different reasons. But Heung-min Son, hello, my friend. Hello, skipper. Welcome bloody back. Do you know what? From the second he did that in the first half where he cut in and tried to bend it into the far corner.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, today he's on it. Today we've got he was lethal. He was absolutely, this is the Sonny we all know and love. This is what this man is capable of. And you know what? I just wish, forget they would have made it 5. The way he just, when it hit the inside of the post, I was like, oh, if that had gone in. But Sonny was at the races yesterday. This is what, as soon as Sonny got 1-on-1 from that incredible ball from Pape, and I know we're going to speak Pape and Maddison at the end, Jonny, because we'll just go for a few other players. But I think yesterday, Heung-min Son was absolutely unplayable. And I will say, do you know what? And again, this is the one thing I will say. People will go, Werner came on. I wish Mikey more. And we address that, I think, because he starts Thursday, like Ian said. But you know what? I'm not so bothered that Werner came on. I'm just delighted that Ange took Sonny off and gave him a rest at 4-1 up. You've come back from injury. We need you. Big games coming up. Go take a rest, mate. We need you. That's what I want to see with Sonny.
But that's why we've got 5. This is my thing. This is why you have 5 subs. They don't have 5 subs now for no reason. It's because the game is so intense. They run for miles. But did you not think? I mean, is it not a coincidence that Sonny having a rest and he comes back and he looks refreshed and full of energy? This is what I'm saying. I don't want to see him played every single game, 90 minutes every single game. Bring him on as a sub. Give him a rest. Don't play him in every game, right? We saw against Man United. We've seen against the games where he's been missing, apart from Brighton, where we manage without him. You know, we can manage without him. But let's be honest, you know, with a Son on form, I actually didn't see the one that hit the post. I obviously missed that. I don't know how I missed it, but it looked like it didn't look like it hit the post. I thought it hit a defender. So, but listen, a fit Son is an asset, but let's play him sparingly. Let's choose the games that we need to see him in, and I think we'll see better. And I'd love to see him hit and pass the 20 goals this season. But the step overs for that goal, the step overs to leave Tobido standing and bang that ball in. What a lovely finish,
mate. He channeled his inner Timothy Atuba, is what he did for that. He channeled his inner Timothy Atuba. We all have it. Forget Ronaldo. That was Timothy Atuba-esque. Jonny, before we start talking Porro and Sarr, talk to me about Dom Solanke.
Dom. Well, do you know what? I'm very mixed, Brian. I'm very mixed, and I'll tell you why. His hold-up play, fantastic. Leads the press, fantastic, yeah? But why am I seeing him in the middle of the park? Okay? Why am I seeing him playing deep? He's not Harry Kane. Irola had him playing off the shoulder, okay? I want to see him getting on the end of headers and crosses and the balls coming in the box. And let's be honest, in all the games he's played right now, he's had 2 tap-ins and 1 at the back post, right? I'm not saying all the goals count and they're all important, but I have not yet seen the best of Dominic Solanke as a presser and as a leader from that respect, and he's running his energy, top marks. For his end product, getting in on the end of things, not so good at the moment. But I think that will come in. That will come in time.
Yeah, I mean, we will speak about the when we speak about Maddison. Listen, this guy, I am so impressed with him. I think he is everything Ange needs, and it just goes to, I think, why we're not getting him in. Listen, I would like to see James Maddison doing the balls that he was doing the first 10 games last season and putting him in, but James Maddison is not the James Maddison we signed at the moment.
He is coming deep, though, Brian.
But Jonny, the reason I think he's doing that right now is because the only person that can cross the ball into him with pure precision is Pedro Porro. We have Johnson and Sonny who aren't crossers of the football, and that's not a criticism of them. That's their attributes. They are cut in, shoot, do everything. We needed. Maybe Odegaard can do it. Maybe Odegaard when he comes back. Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully, we'll be back very soon. We need, please God, come January, we will be able to try and attract wingers that can get the ball and put it on a sixpence for him and get it in for him. Because right now, we don't have the players that... I'd rather do what we're doing, because he has added a certain element to our game. You can put it up there now. he'll hold it. His passing, his pressing, his movement, everything is top drawer. But the main reason we've signed him, I think last season he was the top goal scorer in the Premier League for aerial headed goals, and we haven't got anyone apart from Porro that can cross the ball into him.
This is my point. I just don't feel like I'm not knocking him, right? I'm just saying, he's build up play, he leads the press. We haven't had anyone that led the press, but he's not scoring goals that we know he can score. And we're not utilising a key asset. We spent 65 million. Right now, he does not look like a 65 million pound goal scorer, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that part I can kind of agree with, but
yeah,
I think if we can just get this winger or James Maddison firing again, then the goals are going to start racking in. Then the goals are going to literally fly in for him. But do you know what? I think he has been a brilliant asset to the club. I am such a huge fan of his. When we first signed him or were linked with him, I was like, what the hell are we doing? I'm absolutely delighted with the transfer. I think once we can find a winger for him that can supply him, then this man's at the races. But what he brings to this football team, I think he's helped Brendan Johnson. I think he's helped Kulusevski. I literally think what he creates space. What he's done to the team has been, and it's getting overlooked because of the goals. I think that we have got a real. But I think by the end of the season, people will see. I've got no doubt he's scoring 20 goals this season. Not Premier League. I mean, in total, across the board. Right. Let's talk. Who do you want to talk about next?
I've got to talk about Pape Sarr, right?
Let's do it. I
mentioned him a few weeks ago, or a few games ago, that I thought he was being unfairly criticised. You remember last season? In fact, I've been a massive Pape Sarr fan since he signed. I think it was from when I started watching some of the games against Senegal when he came on against England, and I got really excited. And I thought he was treated appallingly by Conte after his amazing performance against Milan and San Siro. But he started slow. He's given his chance in the two Europa League games where he scored both goals. He's had an assist. Yesterday, he came on, and that was the Pape Sarr that I absolutely love. Those challenges. When he first came here, he looked like he needed a good meal, didn't he? He was stringy. He looked like he
still does do that.
Yeah, he still does. But let me tell you, right? Don't be deceived. That tackle on Jared Bowen, right, before getting up and releasing that fantastic ball for Sonny for his fourth goal, he was unbelievable. And with him and Bissouma side by side, it gave Kulu even more room to express himself through the middle. And we looked a better team. We looked a stronger team. When you got James Maddison keep going down on the ground every 2 seconds, holding his ankles, and I find it so frustrating. And, Pape just gets on with it. And he can score goals, and he shoots from outside the box, and he plays with a smile on his face. He's all the things I love in a footballer. And I've got to tell you, he's 21 years of age. Is he 21? I think he's 21.
Let's have a quick look. Pape Sarr. Pape Sarr. He's 22. He turned 22 in September.
Okay, just 22. Okay,
mate, you say you know your stuff. How dare you?
Yeah, I know. I was a month.
Do you not stalk people? It's not like I know Alfie Divine's birthday.
I apologise to everyone.
I know Alfie Divine's born August the 1st, mate. I know when Alfie's birthday is.
I know. Yeah. Just 22 in September. He's still got a lot of developing to do. And I tell you what a player he is. Whether he's in the squad, whether he comes off the bench, whether he starts. For once, Spurs have options. Something we haven't had in that role.
That's the other thing. What I will say is Pape Sarr, you and I are huge fans of him.
Yeah.
Huge fans. The first 10, listen, we can all talk about the first 10 games. And I thought he was one of our best midfielders. But at the end of last season, the season seemed to catch up with him. Yeah. And it's probably his first full competitive season with non-stop football. And I also think some of the games he came on and started pre-season, he didn't look sharp. Some of the games in the Premier League when he came on didn't look sharp. Yeah. Europa League, which is why I'm delighted Ange is doing what he's doing in the Europa League. He looked better. When he came on, there's a lot of people saying, well, why didn't Archie Gray come on? Because he cost 40 million. Why didn't this one come on? Why? He came on, if you watch Match of the Day, because it was just too easy to get through our midfield. It was just way too easy. Like you just said, Jonny, we now have options. We have options to bring off the bench. Ange Postecoglou, who we'll come on to, was like, right, I need runners, I need legs, I need energy. That was the puppet. That's what this man is capable of. 100%. His breaking up a play, his pass to Heung-min Son for the fourth goal was exquisite. He changed it. Michael Dawson, I've seen, was on Sky Sports going, didn't understand it when it happened, but he's come on, he's broke up play twice, got an assist. We now have options on that bench, whether you like to admit it or not, whether they're high quality and the elite levels we want it to be. There is different options for midfield on that bench now. And what Pape Sarr did yesterday was exactly what was needed. And it's exactly why he came on. And I'm going to bring up that substitution again when we talk about Mr. Postecoglou. But I think we do need to address James Maddison. You and I are someone that wanted Eze before he came in. Yeah. Before I do it, I've just seen we've got 222 people in here.
222. Hit that like button, guys.
I was just about to say, if we can, if you are enjoying the show, if you are enjoying the content, please give us a like. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. The channel is growing. We're trying to do loads of good things within the community and build up. And it's nice to have some positivity and talk positive. And this is a show we are very, very proud of.
Long may it last, please.
Yeah, long may it last. Long may it continue. 22 is my birthday and is my lucky number and my anniversary to my beautiful wife. So when I see 222, perfect sign to say, please enjoy and like the show. And now let's get back. I said it's all positive. Let's talk about James Maddison.
Going down.
You know what? I said yesterday, I said against Brighton, he's on the leadership team. I wouldn't want him to lead. I don't think he can lead a conga line. Listen, yesterday he got the assist. People going on, he created 5 chances. Okay. His corners are dreadful. We bought him as a dead ball specialist. He doesn't shoot from distance. I just don't like his attitude. I don't listen when Johnny's decided to leave me. When he's on, he's back. 1 second, let me bring him back. Why'd you leave me? Yeah, listen, I think James Maddison needs an attitude adjustment. There's a reason he's not in the England team. There is a reason. And I think, do you know what? I'll mention it now if we've done it. One thing I'm going to mention about how happy I am with Ange Postecoglou, like I always am, apart from obviously performances, and I always back him, is a couple of weeks ago, and after Brighton, he goes, yeah, substitutes don't make a difference. It won't matter. Well, he saw an error yesterday and was like, right, I do need to make a change. It will have an impact. Has he learned from his mistake, Ange? Has he realised that squad needs utilisation? Don't know. We'll come on to Ange. But James Maddison is not the James Maddison. I'll mention it again. Wayne Holland. I don't know if he's in the chat. Do you know what? Wayne. Yep, my brother, my Leicester fan brother, Wayne Holland. When we signed him, said, "Do you know what? Leicester fan through and through." And when he tells me something about a Leicester player, I will completely back him. And Wayne said, when James Maddison is on fire, there is nobody better. When he's not on fire, the drop is completely night and day. And he needs to buck his ideas up. He needs to stop.
It's been going on for months, Brian. This isn't a new phenomenon, right?
Big time.
And you know, I don't know if you can tell me, but because I couldn't see, obviously, because I was at the game. but somebody told me that he didn't look very happy on the bench on the TV. Did you see it on the TV?
Oh, he looked fuming, especially when we scored like 3 goals in 7 minutes or whatever it was. It was like,
Oh, really? What? So he wasn't even celebrating the...
No, he had his hoodie on next to Richie. Had his hoodie on. He did not look happy.
No, that's wrong, man. That's not a team leader, is it, Brian? You sub off. You should be celebrating with the team, no matter how you feel inside. Okay, because someone said that to me, but I said I haven't seen it. So it was on TV, though. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed it on the TV. Listen, I've said it as well. I would have Porro and Kulusevski over him in the leadership team. I think, listen, his attitude. I haven't seen him in the chat today, but someone that's always in the chat and Tottenham, we are Tottenham TV. When I was on Ronnie, his attitude stinks to me. From what I take, listen, I don't know the inner lives and what goes on in the training ground and how, but his attitude, it doesn't come across well to me. I mean, people, you may not agree with me. I mean, let's have a look. There's 200.
His aura's all wrong. It's all wrong.
There's 242 people in here right now. Just answer yes or no. Would you want to see Maddison on the bench for Crystal Palace away? Forget Europe. Crystal Palace away. Would you want to see Maddison on the bench? Yes or no? Oh, there he is. There he is. I mentioned you when I was on, Ronnie, because I saw you in the comments. Yeah, Maddison is. I don't like it. So what was I say? Would you like to see him on the bench? So let's have a look what we've got. Oh my God, they've come in. Right. Yes, I would see him on the bench, Rain Man. MJ Marcus, yes.
Yes.
How? Oh no. Ronnie, yes. Scott, yes.
Yeah.
Scissors, no. Okay, so it's mixed. It's mixed.
Well, listen, look, the thing is, if you're a footballer and you're not being picked for your country and you're not being picked by your team, what do? You knuckle down and you change your game. You make it happen. And that's what he needs to do. Competition is great for a football club. And if he can't hack it, then so be it. You have to jog on. Raise your game. He came in here as the big signing. Okay. He performed for 10 games. But unfortunately, the league is 38 games plus cup plus all the other stuff.
Yep.
And you've got to perform on a regular basis. And he hasn't done it. Let's be serious.
Well, the thing is as well, you got to remember, like what Sarr's done, where he's performed well in Europe, and yes, they perform well. We're in 4 competitions currently. Game management is the number one thing we've got to be doing right now. But let's move on to the man, our manager, Ange Postecoglou. Jonny, fire away, buddy.
Okay, listen, look, I'm going to say this again, okay? I do not want him sacked, right? But it seems to be with this fan base, if you say anything negative. I was at Brighton. I came back and I was absolutely pissed off, right? The journey home and all the rest of it, I didn't understand any of it. So I'm going to sit there and I'm going to criticise him. And then I've had 2 weeks like him to stew and be peed off. And this was a massive game. Yes, West Ham were crap, but we had to win it. And he won it. He made a sub. I still feel that he doesn't understand in some instances that there's a reason why there's 5 subs. When we play the intensity that we play in that press, you cannot press like that for 90 minutes without introducing fresh legs. Yesterday he did it. And then thankfully, when we scored those 3 goals quickly, West Ham became demoralised. We'll have sturdier, tougher tests. And I just hope that he comes in with these subs, to be honest with you. And this is a thing that we're going to see on a regular basis, because top coaches make hard decisions. We saw Eric Dyer dragged off. We've seen other players over the periods of time taken off by our previous Spurs managers and others. So, take my hat off to him. It was the right decision, even if it wasn't even if it was an injury, whatever. It was the right decision, and we saw immediate positive results from it. And and he seemed more confident. What I did like though was he wasn't as dismissive of the goal we conceded. It pissed him off. I was happy about that. He didn't sort of dismiss it. I don't care about that. And the other thing is that we've discussed this in our group, Brian. I don't know how many corners we've had, but we've conceded one corner all season, and that was against Arsenal. So we have had progression in that aspect of our game. Thanks to him or Montgomery.
Well, listen, they both deserve credit, but I'm going to bring up, first of all, Tom, who is very, very much Ange-r. And like I said, people as supporters have their right to feel whatever way they want. It's the way that you do it. Like I said, I am as Levy out today as I was yesterday and will be until he leaves. But I will only go for him now when I believe it's due. And I'm not going to make my whole life and this whole channel, oh, we won 4-1, but Levy did this, and why didn't we do? Not doing that anymore. When I need to go for Daniel, I'll go for Daniel. But there's people that can be Ange out, and even when there's good, they'll find the negative. But people like Tom, my roomie, who is very, like I said, I'm not his biggest fan, but he got it spot on yesterday. And you know what? Like you said, he did yesterday. And do you know what I loved about it? That substitution, I don't know if you've seen it, but literally as the halftime whistle blew and Ange was walking back to the tunnel, he said, Sarr, get your stuff off your gut. He knew it instantly. It weren't. Yesterday, listen, do I think he needs to watch what he's saying in press conferences at times, because it really comes off. But you know what? This is the way he does things. I do listen, it frustrates the shit out of me when he says things. And do you know what? Some of the things he says are spot on. Some of the things he says, it's like, whoa, Ange, whoa, don't say that, because it makes you look. I am always fully behind my manager, always have been, always will be. Yesterday, what have we learned from Brighton? That he said subs don't make an impact, and we heard how that was said. What did he do? Half time, before he even got to the tunnel, I'm making this change. But he's learned. The game yesterday was as near. Listen, like I said, we have beaten West Ham. That record that he wanted, or sorry, that unwanted record that we haven't beaten a filth at Chelsea or West Ham, that's done and dusted. He spotted things yesterday. I am hoping from this block we've got before the next international break, we've got Carabao Cup, we've got Europa, we've got Premier League, we've got Aston Villa, Man City, Galatasaray, back to back. Back to back. How's he going to manage those games? How's he going to keep people fit? How's squad rotation going to be? You look at it as well with Ange Postecoglou, everyone's going, yeah, that Brighton game, blah, blah, blah. We've now won 6 games in 7. It should have been 7 in 7.
100%.
There's other people that say, oh, it's 3 and 6 in the Premier League. Well, if you want to count the Premier League, yes, so be it. But let's look at it. 6 wins out of 7. We've won some games when we played bad. We've won some games when we played brilliantly. Yesterday, there needed to be a response. And I will say, honestly, when we went 1-0 down, I did fear the worst. I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, we best get back in this, or the knives are going to come out. Things are going to get bad. Ange Postecoglou yesterday needed to put a marker down, needed to show that we mean business. Some of the football we played was fantastic. Don't care if people want to go, oh, it's a shit West Ham or the defender. They did. Don't care. Ange yesterday deserves his props. Ange yesterday got everything spot on in my. But yes, of course, the defensive issues. Listen, the defensive goal that we conceded was poor. It's not Ange's fault. That's destiny for getting spun like he did. The defense being out of shape. That's Ange sets the team up. I think his in-game management yesterday, his selection, his awareness, and everything he's been saying in the build-up was absolutely spot on, brother.
No, listen, 100%. I don't think you can. Look. We take this show game by game. So, you know, people will look at us, Brian, and when they come in, they say those two are flipping. They flip-flops, those two. but they're not, right? We have my concern. I have the same concerns, but we're happy to criticise, but we're happy to praise. And I wish he'd stop looking at the floor. His obsession with the floor is getting to me. But a guy who's looking for crumbs, that's up to him. But no, it was great. Let's hope. He actually said, in fairness, that he was going to change the team on Thursday, Brian. He already said in an interview. So and he'll play the likes of Mikey Moore and the rest, which we want. But unfortunately, because he's made a mistake with Jed Spence, and we haven't bought a left back or a left-sided player, we're going to have to play. What's his name? Destiny. We're probably going to have to play now Romero and Mickey van der Ven, when really we could do with them getting a time off.
Yeah, Joe, listen, that part, this is the thing. Whenever I go on a stream now and people bring up the fact that Jed Spence was not called up, I'm not even listening to it anymore. It's done, it's dusted. We can't do anything about it till February. Yeah. If that means Archie Gray is going to get more games in defence, fine. If it means better, listen, I don't care if Ben Davies plays.
I'm worried if we get an injury. I'm not worried about that because we'll qualify. You only need to win like 3 games to qualify, Brian. I'm just talking about if we have an injury situation here, which we could do. And I'm not saying that that's his fault, but left-sided, we must in January buy a top left-handed.
This is it, Michael.
The left-handed position. We need either a left centre-back or a left-back. But let's move on because let's go to the questions.
Yeah, I mean, no. First of all, I will just say as well, like, this is what I love. Listen, like I said, you can criticise, but if you criticise, I've always said it, you've got to be big enough to give praise. And it's people like Michael and Tom and others that have been in the chat that will say, do you know what? I'm not his biggest fan, but yesterday, bang, spot on.
Yeah, no,
not I was a shit team. Oh, it was this. I was that. I've always said, never turning my back on a manager, and I'm not starting now. And like I said, Ange Postecoglou, big up and well done for yesterday. There's only a few questions. It's only a short one today, guys, because Jonny has got some birthday celebrations to take care of. And my beautiful and wonderful wife is later on this evening. Oh, she just said she's trying to sleep as well. But she's actually flying to Portugal today on business for a week. So I've got my final day with Alana, so it's a short one today. But right, Shawnee Slater, is Maddison going to be one of those players who peaks early in his career and we were always waiting, wondering for that prime player to return? Jonny?
I was worried about us signing him, I've got to be honest with you. Thought he was fragile, and like Mr. Holland, who said he always struggles to come back from after injury. It's a known fact, and I've been looking at his career, never thought he would ever make a season. So that's why, I didn't want Gio to be sold, although he's got his issues, but I feel like we needed a backup. But he has not progressed. 4 goals all last season. Okay, yes, he scored 1 this season, but you saw when he scored that goal, that was a massive relief for him because he hadn't scored in months and months and months. That's not what we signed, right? So, yes, he has gone backwards. He needs to find his mojo. He needs to look within himself, look in that mirror, and not when those teams scored, like you said, Brian, when he scored those 3 goals, he should be up celebrating those goals, not being bitter and twisted that he's got taken off. You are a leader. So act like a leader, not like a petulant child who's had his toys taken away.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the comments. Well, I don't know if we did mention it. I'm sure I did, but obviously he got the assist. I think I said that at the beginning. But if he didn't, he did get the assist. But this is the thing. Just because he needs to be leader, I don't know. Listen, Wayne Holland, like I said, I will always give props to people that say certain things, and Wayne Holland will always get the props from me for this. He's bang on the money with James Maddison, and do you know what? He's not being the player. Maybe we know what Sarr did. Maybe it even works with Benson, Cole, Bissouma, and Kulusevski is doing so much right now. We spoke about his stat across the board. Maybe we don't play 2 attacking, 1 holding. Maybe the way is a different triangle to make there. But yeah, Maddison needs to have an attitude.
Can I just say, look, you need one creative, but in Ange's system, he wants everyone to be contributing. He wants Bissouma to be scoring goals. He wants Pape Sarr to be scoring goals. When Bissouma was at Lille, he used to take their free kicks and score goals. It was only when he came to Brighton and played under Potter, he played in a slightly different role. So he just needs to find that. We need all our players scoring goals. The Mickey van der Mens, Porros, Sars. That's what the system's about. But I do want to see Solanke getting up there, scoring them goals. Maddison,
well, yeah, with that, like I said, we need, for me, we need to get a winger in there to help him. Right, next question after Shawnee Slater was Rayman. Big up, buddy. What do you think that is the percentage chance we sign Werner end of the season?
0.
Yeah, I would say 0, but you never know with this football club. You never know.
I think it's a stopgap, Brian. I think it's a stopgap until.
I think it is, but you never know.
Mikey Moore.
I've learned to never say never with this football club.
Oh,
never say never. Listen, there's Odebear, there's Son, there's Mikey Moore. I mean, if we sign him, I think there'll be uproar.
Trying to get through a show without mentioning Timo Bernie.
You can't help it. You can't listen.
But now it's been done. Now it's been done. Honestly, he lost the ball. He got the ball on that left-hand side and was attacking the goal. And he's like this, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? He passed the ball. He passed the ball to them, and they broke and they nearly scored. Right, in the second half. You know, the guy's a liability. Right now, Ange needs to get him in with a mental monster, okay? Someone can get inside that head. He needs a positive guru. That's what he needs. Because confidence breeds confidence, and lack of confidence becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you sink to the depths.
The Korean... I keep forgetting his name. So the South Korean player is
coming.
Sounds
like a film. The Koreans are coming.
Yeah, but also what I will say as well, Werner making the tackle on himself was so fine. But you know what? And I don't mean this. The player I'm gonna like it or liken that substitute to. I am by no means comparing Bale to Werner or Werner to Bale. But Harry Redknapp brought Bale on when we're 3-1 up or 4-1 up in a game when he'd been on 24 games without a win.
23 games, I was there counting them all.
Okay, so 23 games, whatever it was, to bring him on to get a bit of confidence on. That sub could have been easily that reason. And for Mikey Moore playing Thursday, it didn't work. Listen, you know what you can get with Werner. Like I've said, he's an athlete, not a footballer, in my opinion. He can stretch a team, he can run a fullback ragged. But then when he needs to pass the ball or take a shot, it's just not. It's not going to happen. But David, I don't know if this is the David Harris in Australia. I hope it. If it is or it isn't, I don't know if it is. If it is David, say yes in the comments or whatever. Big up and good. What do you reckon of Destiny yesterday, Johnny? You were there.
I know why he's not performing at the moment. Well, let's just not go into it.
You can't say that. You can't do that.
Well, let's just say he likes going out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I will say, do you know what?
He's young. He's young. Yeah. He's young.
What I will say,
first and foremost, you're a footballer. Okay.
What?
And if you want to live the life and you want to be out and about, you know, you're gonna suffer. Listen, he was unbelievable last season. Unbelievable. He hasn't reached those heights. But yet again, look, we're early doors of the season. Let's hope he starts to improve. But again, yesterday, Bowen had him turning inside out yesterday. But we don't have an option on the bench. Jed Spence had a little injury yesterday. That's why I knew he wasn't going to be starting. So that's why he couldn't be brought on, because I think other than that, he would have been taken off again at half time, I believe.
I will say, do you know what? Destiny, when we listen, he was horrific against Brighton in that second half, and he wasn't the only one. Let's be honest. But I think that game he wasn't ready, and Spence should have started. But putting that to bed, the first goal was conceded. You're like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. He needs to toughen up on that, on defending those kind of instances. But in the second half, we saw the old Destiny, and people got to remember he was there for the assist for Bissouma's goal. I think in the second half he was much improved. Yes, he still needs to work on certain aspects, but the second half I was a lot more happier, and that looked more like the Destiny that that we all know and love. And long may that Destiny be there. Lee Harvey, does Richie start on Thursday, Jonny?
Yes.
You're saying yes?
I'm going to say yes. I think he needs to start on Thursday. Listen, he's been in training now for over 4 weeks because they don't want to, but he's not match fit. There's a difference between fit and match fit. So there were a couple of touches that he made when he came on, and they're a little bit heavy. His best moment was the elbow to the face from Kudos when he went down.
Do you know what?
He's going to press. If you think Solanke is good in the press, now that he's the fittest he's been since he's been at the club, he's now the fittest, leanest. He's doing everything he can off the pitch, on the pitch, at the training ground to be that person. I think we're going to see that we're going to have two players pressing like mad. I wouldn't mind seeing in moments in the games as we move through the season and they both become fit to see Solanke and Richie when we're chasing games on the pitch at the same time.
Well, I was about to ask you, do you see Richie starting in place of Solanke or on the left?
That's a difficult one to answer because Richie will play off of the left. You know, he's happy to play off the left, but he'll prefer to come through the middle. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen, to be truthful with you.
I will just very quickly say with Richie, and you mentioned the elbow, so I will mention it. The guy who bought me this shirt, I made this crazy bet with him, like I do with Ryan Isaacs, and I said, listen, Richie's just come on, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you, within this game, he's on the floor holding his head, blah, blah, blah. And we put breakfast on it for the next 7:30 kickoff. Within 1 minute, that happened. And I've now won a breakfast because of Richie.
He did actually connect, in fairness. He did actually
Colin Crossamano, are you glad we never got to Debo?
Listen, as I said, based on that performance, you'd say yes, we are glad. But let's be honest, it's one game. If you looked at some of our players in one game, if you looked at Romero in one game or Destiny or Porro in certain games, you would say not for me. So I have to judge it over a period of time, not on a single game. But judging on yesterday, no, you wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, I mean, when they signed him, I was like, oh my God, now we're going to get to see what could have been. Haven't been impressed so far. Certainly wasn't impressed yesterday. And the final question, because I can't see the other questions, and Johnny's got to go in 6 or 7 minutes. How about a swap for more? I'm guessing he's talking about James Maddison. I think he is. Not saying that would happen. Obviously, he's not going to Forest, but I can't wait for December, the end of December to come and the January window to heat up for me and Sean Slater and others to start on the please sign Morgan Gibbs-White for Tottenham Hotspur train, because I am a massive, massive fan of Morgan Gibbs-White. Huge fan of Morgan Gibbs-White. Jonny, what about you?
Good player. I need us to fill in the gaps in the summer. So that would be a backup goalkeeper, a proper backup goalkeeper, not a tree. I need a backup left back or left centre back. And that for me, fill in the backups that we desperately need. Then anything over and above that, I will be delighted with. Morgan Skip-White is a good player. It's filling holes for me and adding. From this point on, once we've got the missing pieces that we've got, then we should only be considering signing a player if they're a massive improvement on what we've already got.
There you go. There you go. And what final question, because I've seen it, and it's from one of the nicest guys you could ever wish to meet in Dan Gaze. And please support his channel. Just type into YouTube exactly what it says there. Who starts for you on Thursday? We can do this quickly.
Okay, so Archie Gray starts.
Well, no, let's go through it. So let's do it. Vicario, who's your back four?
Archie Gray. Archie Gray right back, Destiny left back, Ben Davis probably left centre back with Romero at right centre back, and then midfield will be Bentancur, Pape Sarr, Bergvall. Maybe.
Bergvall, I really want to see start.
Richarlison, maybe Solanke. I wouldn't mind seeing Lancashire given another chance through the middle. And let's put Solanke on the bench.
There you go. I'm going to do the same for you. Johnny, do you know what? I'm going to say this right now whilst we say, because you might leave, because I might do something that I've never done on Ange management, but I'll let you go. If whilst we're saying where you're from, I'm thinking to wrap up this lovely weekend of Spurs winning, Arsenal losing, the sun's shining, the birds are singing.
Not here.
Does someone want, once Johnny's gone, if I get 10 yeses whilst we do our wrap up, I'll do it. One, and I do mean one round of Spurs bingo. If I get 10 yeses right now, we will do one round of Spurs bingo to round up a wonderful day. But Johnny, whilst I'm waiting for the yeses to come in, or the no's, whatever, let people know. Let me get rid of the banner. Let me get rid of the banner. Let me get rid of the banner. Where can people find you?
Here, Johnny H3232 on X or Twitter. And Let's Talk Tottenham 1882 on Instagram and TikTok, where I post videos and stuff. So if you get a chance, if you're in any of those, give us a follow. And obviously you can see me here. Normally I would be here. I haven't played bingo yet, so I'm all up for it. So if you're around and you fancy a bit of Tottenham bingo, which is something we can do at another stage. But I'm going to go and celebrate my son's birthday. And I hope we're back on Friday, Brian. Celebrating.
Yes, we will be back on Friday. We will be back on Friday. It's a busy day for me Friday. Ange Management, the fan show, and I will be back on Chris Cowlins on Friday. I've been asked to join him for the Crystal Palace preview. So I'm on
Tuesday. I'm on Tuesday.
I will be back with Chris Cowlin on Friday.
What I can tell you is I know more about Crystal Palace, right? I could sit there and chat about Crystal Palace. No, so he's invited me on to talk AZ Alkmaar.
You enjoy.
Apart from Troy Barrett.
You enjoy.
Yeah. All right. So listen, guys, have a good one, and
you have a good one.
And we'll see you
I
soon.
I am gonna have one round of Spurs bingo with people.
Take care, guys. Have a good weekend. What's left of it, and enjoy the fact that Spurs won, Arsenal lost, and
Damn right. Damn right.
Bye for now.
Let me just let the bingo group know that there's going to be live bingo. You go, Johnny. Enjoy it. Happy birthday to Brandon. Let me just do this live. Spurs bingo. One round only on TOT right now. Okay, so people, we are now going to have one round of Tottenham bingo. Let me just get this up and get the link sorted. Why not, guys? Just the one round to celebrate a lovely day. Spurs winning. I am now going to put the link in the chat there. It is now going into the live chat. If people haven't played this, this is the most addictive game. We have a great group. I can see a few yeses, so let's do it, people. Why not? Right, the link is now in your chat. Now let me share my screen for Football Bingo so I can see and people can see who is coming in. Share screen. Football Bingo. Let's get rid of the advert. So who have we got? Colin Crossamano is in. Tom 81 is in. KTL is in. People, please feel free to join. It is the most addictive game. If you haven't played it before, you're about to get highly addicted. There's only 4. Oh, here come the people. Here come the people. We're starting to get loads more people coming in. How many we got now? We've got 5 in. So AK is in. Paul Pablo, big up, Paul. I hope you're good and well. We'll keep going for about 2 minutes. It's now 8:16 on my watch. We'll do it at 8:18. So we've got 2 minutes for people to join. So far, there's 6, 7. Fill out for justice. Elias. Okay, big up. Let's have a look who else has joined. Let's have some fun, people. Let's celebrate a great day. I'm going to zoom in on my screen. Oh, there's more and more people coming in now. Does this? There we go. There's 11 of you. 8:17. 1 minute. 1 minute until I push start, people. As many people that want to join. We've got 11 people right now. Like I said, 1 round and 1 round only. And like I said, if people do want to join the group, please email me, Facebook message me, WhatsApp me, whatever you want to do. It is the best group we have on WhatsApp. We have a lot of fun. Alex Spurs, I don't know which Alex that is, but big up to you. Mrs. Roadman is in the house. Audio, my brother, I can see you in there. It's 8:18, people. I'm going to count to 10, then start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes down for a full house. Good luck to everyone. Here we go. Correct. Filth. Manual as by your nope. Jimmy Clark. Aaron Lennon, let's do this. I'm sure he went to Burnley. But I know he went to Everton. Pierre Melhoibier. Didier Sakura. Sorry, Pat. Ryan Mason. I'm sure John Henry was Scottish. Richard Goff was Scottish. Stephen Carr. Nope. Neil Finn. Clint Dempsey. Fulham. Gianluca Popescu. What a player that man was. Why do I think he went to Galatasaray? Jamie O'Hara. Hello, Chewy. Colin Caldwell. Darren Bent. Jesus Christ. Nope. Emerson Sanchez. There you go. Alejo Valise. Oliver Skip. Now, I know you're a Leicester, but it doesn't update. I'm missing you out. Now, Vlad Clearishes. God, how bad was he? How bad was Vlad Clearishes? Freddie Canute. Boom. Bobby Mims, or back in the day, Scott Parker, Chelsea, Matt Doherty, Ronnie, Ronnie, Ronnie Rosenthal. Hey, Christian Ziga, no. Okay, I've got 23 players to sort this out. Gary Lineker, thank you. Jonathan Woodgate. Nope. Ricardo Rocha. Jason Dezell. Lucas Moura, thank you. All right, Man City, Burnley, Crystal Palace. Elder Postiga, Rodriguez, Benton Plot, Edinburgh. Come on, give me a Kieran Trippier. Give me a Kieran Trippier. Give me a Kieran. Oh, I've got 4 players left. I ain't going to fill my card up. Sugar. Port Vale. I've screwed up. I can't fill my card up. But currently, I'm top. But I'm sure that's going to change once I end the stream, darling. It will be the last game. I'm getting told off by my missus here. Okay, so I'm tied with Phil. There's 13 of us. I'm still doing good. I'm still doing good, people. Where's audio? Oh my God. Oh, audio, you. Now, see what? Audio looks like he has won this. Audio looks like he's got his win. How many people have come through? Let's have a look. There's 9. There's still a few more people to come in. Let's have a look. But it looks like audio has won bingo. A lot of us in 39. Paul, you better luck next time, buddy. Bill Coyce, that's a bad one for you. That's a bad one. Bad one. Ronnie, it was, buddy. Listen, like I said, people, if you do want to join the Spurs Bingo WhatsApp group, reach out to me. That's okay, Mark. Listen, it's if anyone does want to join the bingo group, email me. I'm going to put my email address in once again. If you've got me on social media, reach out to me on social media. We will bring you in because it is a lot of fun and it is the best group on WhatsApp. And the great thing is, it's just banter. We don't get involved in the football. We don't get involved in everything. It is just a lot of fun on that group. So do reach out to me by any means necessary to join the WhatsApp group. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up there so my wife can get some sleep. Shane happy with me. I will say thank you very much indeed for being part of the show and for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, Levy out.